Hi guys, Asmo here with another big update. Yesterday I got the mirror. This was day 4 of the league, and shortly after I posted the video update with the mirror drop, I also got my Mageblood. So I got both before the end of day 4. So I had 2 mirrors on day 4, which is the most I've ever had, because this is worth about, well, yesterday at least it was worth about 200 divines. Now it's like 230 or something, and Magebloods were worth also around 200 divines. So this was 2 mirrors worth of currency by day 4. Absolutely insane amount of currency. Sanctum is very powerful. The practice paid off, the build preparation paid off, like focusing solely on the same thing. Like I told you exactly the same thing in this strategy video. Like I have this video on my YouTube that I uploaded shortly before the league, like the week before the league, that said I will make you rich, and I gave the advice of what to do if you want to actually become rich. Like make a mirror in the first few days of the league, right? Like first week, let's say, right? Which a lot of people can do if you're playing long hours, right? If you're like dedicating a lot of time to the game, you can do that. If you don't have to, if you're playing like an hour or two a day, of course you cannot do that realistically, unless you get really lucky. But a lot of people who are playing lots and lots are not making nearly as much currency because of the things I mentioned in the video. So you can go check it out, right? But the main gist of the video was skip the league mechanic, skip the Atlas progression, skip anything you don't need, right? Like just focus on currency, purely on currency, like single-minded focus on one thing. And in this case, I gave you the build, which was the build I'm playing. I gave you the strategy, which was the Sanctum. And for me, it worked brilliantly. 2 mirrors by the end of day 4. Now I can just blast whatever I want with this build. So the Mageblood is right now powering the build, making it really fast. You can see in the background footage of like really fucking disrespectful floor 4 run in Sanctum. This is how I'm running them, because you don't, like, you know, you can sacrifice your resolve, your inspiration, just to run through the traps, just go faster, finish your thing faster. Like be confident and like learn how to do Sanctum fast. Make sure you're not spending more than 5 minutes on a floor, because there really is no reason to. You can do this way faster and upgrade your gear, become faster, and make even more money, right? So I got the mirror, I got the Mageblood, and then I also got the helmet. So today I crafted the 8-link Archdemon crown. The Archdemon crown is a base that has on an implicit -2 to level of socketed support gems, but +2 to level of socketed skill gems, which is huge, because if we're using this for our main skill, we are bypassing the -2 to level of socketed support gems by having the support gems or like support gem effects in the item itself, and they don't get this penalty, right? So only 3 of our support gems are actually getting this penalty, and then our main gem is getting the +2. So what I have on this helmet is the +2 from the implicit, +2 AoE, 2 AoE gems, which was unveiled, hypothermia, 30% more elemental damage, +3 to base crit chance, and then I also have crafted life on it and some mana and AoE and increased effect of cold ailments. So this is actually a very simple craft. Took about 10 minutes, but it can get expensive if you keep getting unlucky. There are different stages that you can get unlucky with it, but the basic way you want to craft this is you get the essences of horror, the ones that give you 30% more elemental damage when you craft it on a helmet. And that is a suffix. So you're spamming these until you also get hypothermia, whatever level you want. I would say settle for 18. Like it's not that big of a difference between 18 and 20, unless you want to spend a lot more currency. So 18 or 20 or even 16, but I would probably reroll the 16. So I would go with like 18 or 20 hypothermia. And then you also need to make sure that you have 1 open suffix where the crit is gonna go, and 1 open prefix on which you need to craft. So if you don't have that, then you're gonna annul. If you, for example, have 1 prefix and 3 suffixes, then you can remove the unwanted suffix with like a wolf, like Pharik Wolf Alpha, for example, right? A suffix to prefix, just to hit that, or you can just do annul, whatever you like. And then you craft suffixes cannot be changed, and you reforge crit with harvest, which guarantees the crit, but it can be either the +1, +2, or +3. In order to get the +3, you need to make sure that your helmet is at least item level 84. So that is important. Archdemon crown item level 84 is the base. And before you do all of that, by the way, I got kind of too ahead of myself. Before you do all of that, you need to make sure it's a Shaper helmet, right? So how do we get a Shaper Archdemon crown? Very simple. We get a Conqueror Exalted Orb for 60 chaos right now. You put this on the item, simply just make the item rare, put the Conqueror Exalted Orb. It's either the Redeemer or Crusader are the cheapest ones, I think, right now. And then you go to Harvest, and for 1,000 blue juice, you can reroll the influence into a random other one. So you have like 1 in 8 chance, I think. I had to spend like 15k juice to get it. Eventually you get the Shaper, and then you spam the essence, right? Very important. Don't change the influence after that. You need to make the influence first thing, right? So just to recap kind of, because I'm kind of rambling. Okay, get the Archdemon crown, item level 84, Crusader orb or Redeemer orbit to get the influence, harvest influence to get it to Shaper, right? So re-roll the influence to get the Shaper, and then you spam essences for 30% more elemental damage until you get hypothermia and an open prefix and open suffix. Then you craft suffixes cannot be changed. Then you do harvest, reforge, crit, and if you get the either 2 or 3% depending on what you need for your build. I got the 3%, but it took me a long time because I kept annulling the hypothermia. I kept getting 3 suffixes and annulling the hypothermia, so I kept spending more and more divines trying to get the open suffix and prefix. Eventually I got it, and then I hit the +3 crit chance, and then you can do whatever you want with the prefixes, right? You can craft suffixes cannot be changed again, and you can reforge life for a life roll. You can reforge lightning for added lightning damage to spells, or you can do what I did, which is craft suffixes cannot be changed and use a veiled orb to get potentially a veiled modifier for +2 to level of socketed AoE gems. You can also get life and then craft the +1 AoE, but the better one is of course to get the +2 AoE gems and then craft the life instead. And then in the end I had an improved prefix, so I just exalt slammed it and I got the mana. And that's basically how you craft this helmet. Very, very powerful helmet. It gave me more than over 70% more damage for my build. 70% more damage compared to the helmet I had before. So it's a huge upgrade for the build, and it's not that difficult to craft. It's not that expensive compared to like how much power it gives, like an 8 link that you can craft yourself. Right now is a good time to craft it because veiled orbs are cheap, Conqueror Exalted orbs are cheap, Harvest juice is cheap, essences are like 15 chaos, so that's not much for the essences of horror that give you 30% more elemental damage. So every single material is pretty cheap. The base is cheap. It's like 1 divine. You can get it for like 1 divine. Very, very cheap. I highly recommend crafting it right now if you're playing the same build that I'm playing, because it's gonna give you it's just basically your end game helmet. The next step after that is to basically get a mirror helmet, right? Which I might get, I might not get, because this is actually already pretty fucking good. So I might use the mirror for something else. But that's basically it. I've been having lots of fun. The next thing I'm gonna upgrade is probably get a better ring instead of the Lori's Lantern 1C ring. Fucking 8 link helmet, Mageblood, mirror in the stash, but wearing a 1C unique ring. Actually wearing 2C unique rings because the Call of the Brotherhood is also 1C now. So I'm just wearing 1C rings. So probably better rings is the next upgrade, and that's it. We'll see what's gonna be the next update. I'm probably gonna make like a more educational Sanctum run next to kind of teach you a little bit in detail, because the Sanctum runs that I've showed so far were kind of like quick, and I didn't really stop to explain everything because it was simply a recording of me running Sanctum as fast as I possibly can. So there is not that much time to learn from that. So maybe I'll upload like a detailed Sanctum run that is educational and explains every single decision I'm doing. And then after that I will probably be doing some T17s to farm gold and engage with the town mechanic. So that's gonna be the next thing for me. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.